Hey there, passionate English learners. Welcome back to English Mastery Podcast. I'm Vey, and I'm absolutely delighted you've joined me today. You know what I notice about students who really excel at English? They don't just learn grammar rules and vocabulary lists. They master those natural conversational phrases that make them sound genuinely fluent and authentic. That's exactly what we're focusing on today. We're diving into a super relatable scenario that happens all the time, discussing movies and entertainment with friends. But here's what makes this special. You'll learn those subtle expressions that native speakers use to give opinions, make comparisons, and find positive angles even when things don't go as expected. These aren't textbook phrases. These are the real expressions that make conversations flow naturally and help you express nuanced thoughts like a true native speaker. We've prepared our proven 4-step learning method. Immersive listening practice, parenthesis. So settle in comfortably, grab something to drink, and let's unlock the secrets of natural English conversation. Are you excited to transform your speaking skills? Let's jump right into part 1, a realistic conversation listening practice. Now here's what makes today's listening experience so valuable. You're about to hear a conversation that perfectly captures how native speakers actually discuss entertainment and share opinions. Notice how they don't just say good or bad. They use sophisticated expressions to give nuanced opinions and find silver linings even when disappointed. Instead of trying to catch every single word, focus on the emotional journey these friends go through together. From expectations to disappointment to finding something positive about the experience. This is exactly how real English conversations work. We navigate through different feelings and perspectives naturally. Ready? Here's an incredibly authentic post-movie discussion. So what did you think about that new thriller we just watched? Honestly, it was pretty mediocre. Definitely not as intense as I was hoping for. Really? I was expecting it to be absolutely terrifying based on all the hype. If anything, I found myself chuckling more than jumping out of my seat. Oh wow, that part with the supposed scary villain had me cracking up too. Exactly! The special effects were laughably unrealistic. Totally broke the immersion for me. I have to agree. The promotional clips actually seem more suspenseful than the actual film. The nachos were definitely the highlight of the entire evening for me. Ha! And that jumbo smoothie? I finished mine before the opening credits even finished rolling. I caught myself still munching on my candy during the final credits. That's how unengaged I was with the plot. Next time, we should definitely be more selective about our movie choices. Absolutely. Maybe we should go for an authentic horror film, or perhaps a soul. At least with comedy, we can guarantee we'll have a good time laughing. Now we're moving into part 2, vocabulary that will elevate your conversational English. These expressions are absolute gold for sounding natural and sophisticated when sharing opinions and experiences. I'm not going to give you boring definitions. We're exploring how these phrases actually work in real conversations to help you express complex thoughts like a native speaker. If anything, this powerful phrase introduces a contrast or opposite to what was expected or mentioned. For example, the presentation wasn't boring. If anything, it was too fast-paced. Or, I wasn't tired after the workout. If anything, I felt more energized. You might say, the restaurant wasn't expensive. If anything, it was quite reasonable. She's not unfriendly. If anything, she's just shy. The weather didn't ruin our trip. If anything, it made it more adventurous. Final credits. This refers to the list of names and information that appears at the very end of a movie or show, acknowledging everyone who worked on the production. Examples: we always stay until the final credits to see if there's an extra scene, or the final credits had beautiful music playing over them. Also, many people leave before the final credits start. The final credits revealed it was filmed in my hometown. She spotted her friend's name in the final credits. At least, this phrase helps find something positive in a disappointing or negative situation. Like, the concert was canceled, but at least we got a full refund. Or, I failed the test, but at least I learned what to study better. You could say, the restaurant was closed, but at least we discovered that great food truck. It rained during our picnic, but at least the park was less crowded. My fine broke, but at least all my photos were backed up. Be more selective. This means to choose more carefully or have higher standards when making decisions. Examples: I need to be more selective about the books I read. Or, she decided to be more selective about her friendships. Also, we should be more selective about our streaming subscriptions. He's learning to be more selective about job opportunities. They're being more selective about their investments now. Time for part 3, our interactive speaking practice that builds real conversational confidence. These questions focus on the key communication patterns from our movie discussion. Remember, the goal is building your ability to express opinions and reactions naturally. Answer each question out loud with confidence. Don't worry about perfect grammar. Focus on communicating your ideas clearly. What was the overall opinion about the thriller movie? Both friends found it mediocre and disappointing. How did the movie compare to their initial expectations? They expected it to be terrifying and intense, but it turned out to be much less scary than anticipated. What unexpected reaction did they have to the movie? If anything, they found themselves laughing more than being scared during the supposedly frightening scenes. What specific criticism did they have about the movie's production? They thought the special effects were unrealistic and the villain looked fake, which broke their immersion. How did they compare the movie to its marketing materials? They felt the promotional clips and trailers were actually more suspenseful and scarier than the actual film. What did they enjoy most about the movie theater experience? The food, specifically the nachos and jumbo smoothie, were the highlights of their evening. What interesting detail was mentioned about their eating habits? One person finished their smoothie before the opening credits ended, and the other was still eating candy during the final credits. What decision did they make for future movie outings? They agreed to be more selective about their movie choices next time. What genres are they considering for their next movie night? They discussed choosing either an authentic horror film or a solid comedy for their next outing. How did they use positive thinking despite their disappointment? They said at least with comedy, they can guarantee they'll have a good time laughing. Finally, here comes part 4, our transformative shadowing practice. This technique will help you develop that natural rhythm and sophisticated expression that native speakers use when discussing entertainment and sharing opinions. Listen carefully and repeat immediately. focusing on matching the conversational tone and natural flow. Notice how they express disappointment while still maintaining a friendly, positive conversation. So what did you think about that new thriller we just watched? Honestly, it was pretty mediocre. Definitely not as intense as I was hoping for. Really? I was expecting it to be absolutely terrifying based on all the hype. If anything, I found myself chuckling more than jumping out of my seat. The special effects were laughably unrealistic. Totally broke the immersion for me. The promotional clips actually seemed more suspenseful than the actual film. The nachos were definitely the highlight of the entire evening for me. I finished mine before the opening credits even finished rolling. Next time, we should definitely be more selective about our movie choices. At least with comedy, we can guarantee we'll have a good time laughing. Oh wow, that part with the supposed scary villain had me cracking up too. I caught myself still munching on my candy during the final credits. Absolutely. Maybe we should go for an authentic horror film or perhaps a solid comedy instead. What an incredible practice session you just completed. These natural expressions, if anything, at least, be more selective, and final credits are going to make such a significant difference in how sophisticated and natural you sound when discussing movies, entertainment, or any experiences with friends. Native speakers use these phrases constantly when sharing opinions and finding positive perspectives, and now you have them in your conversational toolkit. I encourage you to practice using these expressions when talking about your own experiences, whether discussing movies, restaurants, travel, or any other topics. Remember, sounding like a native speaker isn't about perfect grammar. It's about using the same natural phrases and thought patterns that native speakers use to express complex ideas and emotions. You're making remarkable progress in your English journey, and I'm genuinely proud of your commitment to mastering these subtle but powerful expressions. Keep practicing, keep building your confidence, and remember that every conversation is an opportunity to use these new skills naturally. Until our next English mastery session, keep expressing yourself authentically and keep growing as a confident English speaker.